The geographic center of Oakland County is known as Waterford, Michigan. In this video, I'm going to tackle a few pros, cons, and some other cool things about living in Waterford, Michigan. Let's get to it. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Living in Michigan. If you're new here, my name is Andrew McManaman, and I am a licensed Michigan realtor that makes videos all about living in, moving to, and everything in between in the fine state of Michigan. So if that tickles your fancy, be sure to do your thing below so you never miss out on an upload. Before I dive headfirst into Waterford, Michigan, I want to mention another video I created a little while back that talks about Four Towns, Michigan, which is one of 5 unincorporated communities in Waterford. That video will give you additional insight on this city and its surroundings, as a lot of the data is from Waterford, Michigan. All right, enough messing around. Waterford Township, Michigan, established in 1834, this township covers just over 35.3 square miles, with 4 of those square miles being water. The population is just over 73,000 people. Starting this list off with the pros. Pro number 1, just to talk more about the city's geography in general, the lakes. Waterford is home to 34 named lakes, which is absolutely insane, especially if you're someone who doesn't have the luxury of lake access or waterfront living for that matter. These lakes range from small ones such as Lake Goodrich, which is 4 acres in size with a depth of 10 feet, to large lakes such as Cass Lake, which is 1,280 acres with a depth of 123 feet. Granted, Cass Lake is only partially in Waterford Township and mainly in West Bloomfield Township, but you still get some access on the north side of Dodge State Park. Pro number 2 is all about the affordability. Again, I touched on the cost of living in depth in the Four Towns video, so I'll just talk about my perspective on home affordability in a city like Waterford. As you and I both know, living on a lake is ungodly expensive. Doesn't matter if it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home or a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, there's a significant price tag, and for good reason. You're on a lake. Just to put it into further perspective, I'll put up some homes that are for sale, pending, and sold in the last 90 days in Waterford that are waterfront. Taking a look at this list, the price range is anywhere from $165,000 to $1.65 million. Imagine getting a lake house for under $200,000. It's probably unheard of in your market if you're out of state. That's the cool thing about Waterford. It may not be this luxury retreat of a town, but it makes waterfront living affordable. Yes, that 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo for $165,000 will definitely need some TLC, but jump to $400,000 and you got yourself a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-family home with a 2-car attached garage, and it's 100% move-in ready. Switching gears to pro number 3, and that's the community. If you know Waterford, you know there really isn't a downtown, but like I mentioned, it is very centrally located in Oakland County, so the surroundings are very plentiful. Just like White Lake and Highland, there tends to be heavy dependence on the M59 corridor to supply the entertainment and attractions. The cool thing about Waterford is with all the surrounding lakes, there has been a good sense of community created from it. I've been living around the area for about half a year now, and I've seen some of the winter and some of the summer months, and I can't help but constantly think about how cool it is to see so many people boating, fishing, ice skating, ice fishing, and making use of all the parks in and around Waterford Township to mountain bike and utilize some of the many sports fields. If that doesn't say a thing or two about community safety, I don't know what does. And with the schools, library, town hall, police, and fire departments being so close to each other, the police presence is a great touch as well. All right, now to the not so good things about Waterford Township, Michigan. Con number 1, as I mentioned, there's not much of a downtown, so I feel obligated to make that noteworthy con despite the city's location. Like I've said in a lot of my other videos, having a walkable downtown space is life or death for a lot of people when it comes to planting some new roots. And it's understandable, of course. M59 is a 45 to 55 mile an hour road that's mostly 4 lanes that stretches as far west as Howell and as east as I-94 near Anchor Bay. This strip is chocked full of anything you could imagine, from restaurants of all calibers to attractions like escape rooms, movie theaters, and bowling alleys. There really isn't anything you can't do, but anything more than a 2-lane, 15 to 25 mile an hour road might be a little overwhelming for any downtowner, so make that note when you're looking into the area. Con number 2 is the schools. There's not necessarily anything wrong with the schools, but like I said, Waterford has an abundance of nearby cities, and towns that rank higher in the school department. So with that being said, Waterford gets the shorter end of the stick there, unfortunately. Of course, the township has great schools such as Clarkston High School and Sacha Middle School, but according to Niche.com school rankings, they got about a B. The plus side of Waterford School District is its school of choice, meaning you have the opportunity to make the decision on which school or district you'd want to attend. I can link more information on that in the description below. Last but not least, con number 3, the job market. Taking a look at how bestplaces.net breaks this down, Niche.com also has a few similarities as well. Waterford Township has had positive job growth, but in terms of employers, there's not a lot happening in town. But just like anywhere else, the average commute to a job is about 25 to 30 minutes. You have cities like Troy, full of Fortune 500 companies with endless employment options. Then you have cities with a whole lot of lakes. There's a trend here, obviously, and that's not mixing business with pleasure. All jokes aside, the future job growth is 38% in Waterford, whereas in the US overall, it's 33.5%. When looking at these charts, it's clear Waterford is focused on longevity because the 3 and the 5-year growth comes in a little short compared to the US in general. But looking at the 10-year growth, it trumps the US by 1.4%. Well, that sums up the pros and cons of living in Waterford. If you have any additional questions about something I may have not touched on, please don't hesitate to reach out anytime and I would be happy to answer anything you throw my way. If this video and all the others before continue to give you value week after week, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and tap the little bell so you never miss out on any of my uploads. I'll see you next time.